Well, hello everybody. It's your old friend Wanderer back on the trail. Actually, I'm not on the trail currently. I think you can see from the airplane flying over, just disappearing into the cloud bank, that I'm actually at the airport in Charlotte, getting ready to fly to Miami in the morning to begin my through hike of the Florida Trail. I've been following a lot of my friends from the AT that have been hiking the Florida Trail the last couple of years. Kind of appeals to me, especially all the wildlife in Florida. Also, though I've been to Florida several times, I've never spent a lot of time in the sorry, there's a lot of traffic through here, in the heartland of Florida. So I'm looking forward. The trail basically starts in the Everglades, in the swamps in southern Florida, just west of Miami. Then you hike north all the way into the Panhandle to Pensacola, Florida. So plan is to do that in somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. It's about 1,300 miles. A lot of flat hiking, some road walking, not nearly as much as the MST, but I've got a flight out in the morning, spend most of the day in Miami tomorrow, and then I have a friend, Trail Angel, picking me up Tuesday morning, taking me to the trailhead, again about an hour west of Miami. So just wanted to give an introduction. Thanks for following. Looking forward to a lot of beautiful scenery, especially wildlife and some of the flora, well, the fauna and flora of southern Florida. So I've gotten comments from some folks that live in that area that say the temps yesterday were in the low 90s. So it hasn't been that cold in North Carolina. Back in North Carolina for about a week and a half. It's been in the 50s here the last couple of days, so it was in the 70s before that. But I've been in Colorado all winter, and we've had a really brutally cold winter, so I'm looking forward to some warm temperatures and short sleeves and t-shirts. But I'll check in later when I have more to talk about. So I made it to Miami after a little bit of a alarming situation this morning. My flight with Spirit Airlines was canceled last minute, and I had to rebook. Fortunately, there was an American flight that was leaving about an hour later that was also a direct flight, so I didn't have any issues with layovers. Made it to Miami, checked into my hotel. I just came from the Bass Pro Shops, right over there, and bought my fuel canisters, so I'm ready to roll with those. I'm gonna spend most of the day just kind of probably in this complex. I've got to get my food for the next 4 or 5 days, and I'm going to get some water and a couple of other things, but I've got plenty of time. The hotel doesn't allow check-in until 4 o'clock. They do allow you to store your baggage with the concierge, so it's over there. My pack's over there. I'll get back over there this afternoon. I'll flash a couple of pictures and maybe even a little video from the hotel location. It's a beautiful Embassy Suites right off the airport, and massive, and lots of tourists there. A lot of families there coming down, of course, for the beautiful weather. My Uber driver is originally from Cuba, and he said that it's always summer in Miami. So I think I'd have to get used to it, but it is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful down here. I'll show you some other photos as I travel around the city. And anyway, just wanted to check in. Well, I am currently heading back toward the hotel in a roundabout way. There's this beautiful little greenway trail. I'm not even sure if they refer to it as a greenway trail. It's called the Kitty Pole, P-O-E-H-L trail. I'll read up on who it was named after, or why it was named after Kitty Pole. But anyway, as I was walking along, it occurred to me that I told my sister-in-law, Julia, that I would give a shout out to my great nephews, Talon and Zeke. Talon and Zeke, what's up? Be praying for Uncle Robert. And also want to give a shout out to my grandson, Carter. Papa says hi, buddy. I love you. Plan is, once I get back near the hotel, I Ubered over to Bass Pro Shop. I'll probably walk another mile or so. I just wanted to stretch my legs and get used to the heat. It's not that bad, really. I mean, there's a nice steady breeze. When you're in the sun, it's pretty hot, but in the city. Feels really nice. But I'll get back, get an Uber, go back near the hotel, find a supermarket near there, get my food. Then I'll get back to the hotel, bed down early for the night. My trail angel, Brian, is going to pick me up sometime in the morning. I've still got to coordinate with him exactly where and when. But again, hopefully the plan is to be on the trail no later than 10:30 tomorrow morning. Excited about it. Now that I finally got here, I was a little frustrated with my travel this morning. Especially frustrated with Spirit Airline. That's last time I tried booking through them. Live and learn. I think I might have flown Spirit one time before because there was nothing else available, but American's flight was twice as expensive, but you get what you pay for. You don't have to worry about flights being canceled and unable to reschedule one for the same day. So I'll stick with American, I suppose. Checking in later. Well, good morning. Not from the trail. I am still in Miami, but I'm about 25 minutes closer. I am at the Mikosuke Casino and Resort waiting for my shuttle. Brian from the Florida Trail Association is going to pick me up here. And I'm looking forward to him getting me out to the trailhead. I've been doing a little more research. I'd heard something about this recently, that YouTubers are prohibited from filming in national parks. And I really didn't think it was going to be much of an issue for me in Florida, but I just discovered this morning in my research that the Big Cypress Swamp is actually a national park. So I am not going to be able to video anything in there. I will take some photographs and I'll post those on Facebook, but unfortunately I'm not going to have any video from that area. I'll take some video myself, and I may post some of those videos on Facebook, because I think the beauty of the swamp is something that can't be passed up. But anyway, when you're watching the video and you don't see any coverage of the swamp, you'll know why. But I think I can put photos in there. I just can't put videos from the swamp in there. And I'll find out more about that when I get to the visitor center there, because I'm sure there's a ranger that can advise me more on this. At any rate, I'll check in with you later. It's a beautiful morning this morning. Probably the low 70s, maybe mid 70s. And should be a nice day.
Yeah, Dad, get your legs and stuff. Yeah, maybe I'll skip.
Well, you're looking at I-75. So that means I am officially out of the swamp. Good little test, frankly. You know, I know the trail is pretty much dead flat. That swamp is no joke, man. That terrain, especially that mud, golly, that is life sucker, buddy. But good little proving grounds. I made it this morning, 10 miles in just, well, a little less than 5 hours. So, frankly, I'll take that. Well, my swamp shoes are just about to go in the garbage can. But they lasted 30 miles. That's all I needed. The best $30 I've ever spent. That's $1 a mile. I'll take it. Well, now that I'm out of the Big Cypress, I suppose I can make all of my videos official. I wanted to give the final tally for wildlife. I saw one gator. And he was in a little water source we got some water out of last night. 0 water moccasins. I was surprised. I thought I would see some in some of those swampy waters. Heading on to the Seminole Indian Reservation. And I don't know, I might try to find some shade in a little while and just rest for a little while. Tell you what, those swamp miles are kind of like White's miles. You know, when we were hiking the AT, everybody knew when you got into the White Mountains and into southern Maine, your mileage was going to really wane. Kind of the same thing with swamp miles, man. Swamp miles are hard. The 10 miles I did this morning felt like 20. I'm going to put this away, but if I see, let me show you something. So there's a canal right here beside the trail. almost certain to see an alligator in there. There's a big turtle right there. But if I see a gator, oh, I see a gar over there too. Big long nose snake. I mean, fish. But if I see a gator and it doesn't jump in before I put this away, I'll capture him for you. Well, there's my beautiful water source. Isn't that nice? School of fish swimming around in there. And the note in gut hooks, or far out, says that there's an aggressive alligator in there. But I didn't see an alligator. It's probably back in the shade somewhere. If it's not, see you later. Brutally hot this afternoon, so I am taking more breaks than I typically would. I believe I am going to, at least for the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to start hiking a lot earlier. Maybe try to get on the trail by 3 o'clock. Try to bust out a lot of miles by 10 or 11 before it gets really, really hot. And then maybe break a little during the day if I can find some shade. Shade's been hard to find today. And I know there's a section coming up where we're going to be hiking along levees where there's no shade at all. So I'll just do what I can. You got to do what you have to survive. Well, I don't know if you can make them out, but everywhere you see the little reflections in the water, those are gator eyes. And you can see that pair pretty well. There's a pair up there. There were several pairs on there's a pair right over there. Again, I don't know if you can make them out or not. This is a canal. It's called the feeder canal. I'm not really sure what's a feeder to. This is my water source for this beautiful Thursday morning. And I got a little bit of a sunrise coming up over the canal. It's really the first decent view that I've had. It's cool this morning. I bet it's in the mid-60s, probably low 60s. Feels great though. Gosh, it was so hot yesterday. I'm tickled for cool weather. I'm getting ready to enter the Seminole Indian Reservation, so I'll check in with you from there later. So this is the Big Cypress Cemetery. And you can see why it's aptly named Big Cypress Cemetery. Isn't that beautiful big cypress with all the Spanish moss? What a beautiful place. So well maintained. I'd look hard to find a piece of garbage to throw away. I like to, when I use a facility like this, I like to try to pay it back. But look at this beautiful little thatch roofed picnic shelter. Nice break area there. Beautiful, nice air conditioned restroom. But most importantly, look at my water source. No filtering that. Isn't that nice? Makes me want to smile. Alright, enough of this. I've been on a pretty long road walk this morning. It was dirt for the first 2 miles or so, and it's been paved probably for the last 6 or 7. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but heading toward the, I don't know, I must be halfway through the reservation or so. Probably another 7 and 10 miles to get out, but I'll see what the day brings. I gotta admit, when I envisioned walking through the Seminole Indian Reservation, this is not what I had in mind. Very affluent. And that sounds, it does sound racist. It's not meant to be at all. It's just, I'm just taken aback by the, sorry, trying to talk when there's no traffic around. I was taken aback by how nice everything is. Just like Cherokee. And I have to admit, I am so heartened to see that these folks are able to claim a little bit of pride. Breaks my heart to think of all the things that were taken away from them over the years. At least now they seem to have recovered. I'd like to know the history of the community and get more information on it, but I have to blow on through. But this is the reservation proper. There's a sit-go coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna do a little minor resupply there. I don't need a ton of food. Try to get a few more snacks and some more ramen. And of course, a cold soft drink. Once again, not what I expected. This is, wow, so neat. There's the medical center. That was the senior center we just passed. There's advertising by the Hard Rock Cafe, but I doubt there's a Hard Rock in town. I'm gonna put this away. Well, here's my long morning break. This is the Big Cypress Landing convenience store. Let me tell you, incredibly hospitable people. Blaze, one of the cashiers in there, super nice, loves hikers. Just awfully sweet to me. I got a decent little resupply. I don't know why this isn't talked about more on gut hooks or far out, because it's a great little resupply option. Taking a little longer here than I expected, but I basically just made this my lunch stop, so I'm gonna hit it hard. It's gonna be hot again, but it's what it is. Well, this has been pretty much the order of the day today. Hiking beside these canals, and I have yet to see a gator. I'm wondering, frankly, if it's just so hot they're staying submerged. Because normally you at least see their snouts, but I don't know. I'll keep looking though. If I spot one, I'll come back. This canal has so many gators I've lost count. I'm up to like 20 something. I haven't even gone a quarter of a mile. You can't really see them because all you can see is their head and snouts, but there's tons of them in there. I just saw one jump off the bank, but couldn't get my camera up fast enough. Well, I am hiking at 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour. I'm just trying to take a on-trail break. It's so hot. I'm not good at sitting around, but I felt like if I slowed it down to 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour, it'd give me a little bit of a rest. And then I can pick it up again, maybe around 5 or so. Tell you what, man, this sun is a real problem. You can see those big guys. They're just chilling out. They're not moving at all. Oh, never mind. There's a ton of fish jumping around over there, so something tells me they got lots to eat. Onward. Well, here is my campsite for night 3. The canal is right over there where that big pump station is, where the tower is. But the Water Association, and I'm sure probably the Florida Trail, have built these super nice Florida Trail campsites. Look at this, super nice picnic shelter, a nice vault toilet, which also will serve as a food hide tonight. I won't have to worry about gators coming and getting my food. But this is super nice. Oh, there's a nice breeze blowing now. I hope it blows all night. Keep me nice and cool. I am worn out. Got about 26 miles today. I think like 25.8. Whew, that sun, good grief. I've done 35 and 40 mile days on the AT and MST that were easier than this. But wah, that's what I signed up for. I just wish I'd started earlier. Good night. Good Friday morning from the trail. Yep. I'm still on the labbies. I'm going to have to research and find out the difference between levee and dike, because in various places along this trail I've seen them referred to as levees and as dikes. So I got to figure out what the difference is. I got on the trail early this morning, right at 4 o'clock. I did 10.4 just before 7, so cranking along pretty good. Don't have any real plans for the day, except I know in about 8.5 miles there's another campsite like the one I spent the night at last night. I'm not camping there, of course, but it's a good water source. I'll probably stop there, take a little break. Should be able to make it there by 10. And I'm going to kind of assess what the afternoon looks like. I've got, if I do 10 to that campsite, that puts me 8 miles from Lake Okeechobee. And then at that point, I don't know, I think I'm like 4 or 5 miles to a little town of Clewiston. My plan, of course, is to Nero in Clewiston. I'm not really sure if they have a campground or motel or whatever, but I'll find some place to hang my hat and wash up and get resupplied. So I'm not planning to make Clewiston this evening, of course. That's not my desire. But I'd like to get myself set up so I can go early into Clewiston tomorrow and have most of the day there. Kind of take care of things. It's cool this morning, thank the Lord. I tell you, even into the night last night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, it was still so hot I just couldn't even put my quilt on. And just after I videoed last night, the mosquitoes weren't even hovering around. But literally not a minute after I put my phone away and the sun went down, it was like God flipped a switch and 10 million mosquitoes appeared out of nowhere. I'd already set my tent up, so I was ready to run in there and find shelter, but yeah, it was not fun. But then as soon as the sun comes up, they're all gone again. They're just cruising through the day, I guess. All right, let me put this away and keep walking. Well, 2 really cool things just happened. First, I met another thru hiker. She's actually going southbound. She's finishing the East Coast Trail. She started at the International Appalachian Trail last June and did the International Appalachian Trail, then the AT, and of course you pick up the Benton McKay and the Pinhoti, and then the road walk from the Pinhoti to the Florida Trail. Then she'll finish the Florida Trail and go do the road walk basically from Miami down to the Keys. Sweet little girl. We took pictures and talked about the AT and other trails. But after that, not 5 minutes, I was walking down the road and it's a nice gentleman and one of the, whatever their Department of Transportation is, tractors, waved me down and gave me a cold, I mean ice cold bottle of water. It was so good. I am hiking, still hiking along the canals. It seems like you're always hiking along the canal in Florida. The trail kind of, it moves back and forth from a road to the dike and then back and forth. It's really windy this afternoon, has been windy all day. And the footing up there was not the best. So I thought, oh, I'll just walk on the road for a little while. And I'm glad I did, because the young lady that I met was walking on the road. And I got the water from that guy because I was walking on the road. I'm about 5 miles from Lake Okeechobee. Once I get there, the Florida Trail gives you some route choices. Lake Okeechobee is the first route choice. You can go either east or west of the lake. Then you also have a choice around Orlando. You do east or west. Now I think there's some other sections where you have a choice as well. And I believe I'm going to take the west route because there's a hotel and some restaurants there, and I need to get some Wi-Fi so I can go ahead and get some videos loaded. She took the east route and said it was more scenic, and the people were really polite. Now, everybody that I've seen, I got water yesterday from a guy, and got water today. People I've met have been really polite, so I don't think it's going to matter which direction I go. The west side's a little longer, but I really want that Wi-Fi. So I think the plan is camp somewhere just before I get into Lake Okeechobee, because there's no camping allowed there. Then I'll walk on into the little town of Clewiston in the morning. I'm going to get to Lake Okeechobee probably by 3 o'clock or so. So I just need to slow down a little bit. Revitalized though, that cold water. Woo, that made a difference. All right, let's keep walking. So this is Lake Okeechobee. Hopefully you can see a little bit of it. Big lake. Much larger than I thought. Can't even see the other shore. My plan, I've booked a hotel in Clewiston tonight and tomorrow night. I knew if I got in there early, I'd just be wasting my time sitting around restaurants and stuff like that, trying to buy time for the hotel to be open, so check in. So I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and just book 2 nights. And I thought I'd have no problem getting an Uber over there, but no luck. So I've got another 8.5. Looks like to get to the hotel. That's in addition to the 29 that I've already done today, so I'm up to 36 or 37. Not the way I planned it, but at least I'll get the miles out. Look at this track. It's basically a walking track. Now I'm sure it's not going to last forever, but since I came out of the park, half a mile back, look at this beautiful walking trail. All right, this way.